Okay, so it's free to the public.
Yep.
I understand that. So there's no cash grab at the gate. But, there is definitely things that might concern people in half a decade or a decade's time. So right now, it's a big no-no to bring alcohol into the event. That includes alcohol in a plastic bottle.
How about water then? Like tap water?
Yeah, so you can bring water in here as long as it's sealed and it's not been opened.
So is my reusable bottle, which I filled up from my tap at home earlier, am I allowed to bring that in?
No.
Oh dear.
Yes, you're a naughty boy.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
I've broken the rule, and I've been gay all these years, and I've broken the rules by bringing a reusable plastic bottle full of tap water.
I mentioned to the security, and I know it is a thing. It does happen. So some of these kind of events where you're not allowed to bring alcohol in, some people might go to quiet far measures by using a needle and a plastic bottle. It could be a plastic bottle of Coca-Cola, and injecting a certain amount of alcohol into the bottle. So
well, it all seems relatively peaceful. We've not had any problems with the security as such. No one's causing any trouble, are they?
No.
It all seems to be going off very peacefully. However, this is a public highway. Do you think they have closed it, and they can close roads off to vehicle traffic? Do you think I ought to ask Sheffield City Council what the rules are for bringing ordinary plastic bottles? I mean, I use a bike. I have to bring water with me. You've had issues with being homeless. People are entitled to bring food and drink.
Well, I feel that this is a community. It's not Kelham Island. It's Neepsend, and people live around here. People work around here, and if you're not allowed to bring a bloody bottle of water down the street as you're walking home, because some people do live around here, that's pretty clear, then what can you bring into your own neighbourhood?
Well, I'm going to Doncaster Pride in a couple of months' time. Doncaster Pride this year is going to host UK Pride, so I'm expecting people to come from all over the country, and it's going to take place on Town Fields, which is a really big field about a mile outside of Doncaster, and they're going to have similar rules. They've been doing bag searches for the last year or so, and they have a similar rule this year where you're only allowed, I think, a half litre of water in a sealed bottle. You think we ought to go and test them?
Well, my honesty on the bag searches, and I always thought bag searches was for some very specific things. It was always related to weapons, improvised weapons. So a glass bottle, that's a weapon, isn't it? If it's emptied and smashed.
You can smash it and do some serious damage.
You can twist one of them, and you can really hurt someone with one of them. But plastic bottles, that's right, guys, plastic bottles. So you bring a plastic bottle here, and it's opened, and it's got vodka and Coke in it. They won't let you bring it in.
Yeah. Well,
because they're not making any money off it, is what I understand.
I've got a camera monopod in my bag, which I was using earlier. I could give someone a right smashing with that, couldn't I?
Yeah. I mean, I thought
to bring it.
I thought bag searches was for even like IEDs, improvised devices, bombs, guns, knives, weapons.
I mean, I've had issues with this at Manchester Pride. Obviously, Manchester has been a terrorist target on multiple occasions in the past, whereas Sheffield hasn't. So you can understand a bit of trepidation there among people.
But I think it's not to do with terrorism or to do with people bringing weapons into the events nowadays.
Yeah.
It's also a bit of a cash grab. So what they do is they want you to come in here empty-handed. So you go to one of their private vendors. This Neepsend social club over here, take this for instance, they've said you can drink in there all day.
Yeah.
But if you walk off that premises with drinks from there, they'll take them off you.
Yeah.
Because it comes from Neepsend Brewery.
Well, this is a really interesting topic actually, because it really highlights the difference between public places and private places, and often at these sorts of events we have a big blurring of the lines between the two, and you do sometimes get private companies who try and take over private places, either for their own political agenda or sometimes for their own profits.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
It will be turning into a political event, and it will be turning into a cash grab in the end. So currently in Sheffield they don't really have a proper Pride. They've had a few, haven't they? They've had many different ones.
Well, we're going to have 3 this year.
Yeah, which is better than last year and obviously better than the years before. But this Neepsend one, this might have some potential to take off like Manchester's Gay Village kind of thing. It's quite extensive and it's quite big as well, the area that they've covered, that they've locked down.
Yeah, 'cause it's all full of like trendy bars.
I mean, you can imagine this empty car park here. You know, this company here, they might say next year you can use our car park as long as we get so much money out of it.
Yeah.
It's a big space there. It could be full with market stores, brewers, could be full of anything. All for the Kelham Pride, but it's not really. I mean, when they call it Kelham Pride, they're using the name Kelham. We're not at Kelham Island, we're in Neath's End.
Yeah, well,
so it should really be called Neath's End Pride. But they're using the name Kelham because it's a famous name in Sheffield, it's a famous area.
Yeah. Well, we've got another couple of Pride events here in Sheffield, and we've got one in Doncaster, and I'm sure you'll hopefully join me in Manchester later on in the year as well. So we'll just, I think time will tell as to what happens with them. Right, well, I've finished with the Kelham Island Pride now, but look what I managed to sneak in and get all the way through with all that security. It's a water bottle which I use on my bike. I think it's 750 millilitres, and I filled it with tap water from my own tap in Rotherham this morning. Very nice and much cheaper than a pint of beer.